The festive season is around the corner, which means shopping activity, of course, is going to peak at the moment. Consumers may have access to larger amounts of cash due to that bonus or maybe the 13th check. Stokvels and saving clubs, they're also going to be paying out. So we've got Kalyani Pillay, CEO of SABRIC, the South African Banking Risk Information Centre, here in studio to share her top tips on how to carry your extra cash safely this city season, or maybe look at other ways of transacting without cash. Can't believe this is the last time we're going to be sitting down this year. But so good to get this message out there at such an important time. I mentioned Stokvel members, and we've seen in the press some awful stories, violent crimes being committed because these are such an easy target.
Absolutely. You know, we've been saying for a long time, a lot of people will have access to a lot of money, or more money than they have over the year. And so we saw last year, around late November, early December, those Stokvel clubs that were actually collecting money, withdrawing from banks so that they could distribute amongst the club members. There were so many of the clubs that were actually robbed. I think we recorded about 40 incidents late last year, which is really horrible because people, you know, save their hard-earned money. So we're saying to the Stokvel Club members and the people who actually manage the Stokvels that there are so many different ways that you can actually do banking without having to physically touch the cash. People should, for one, should be contributing towards the club by EFTing money, by having a debit order. You don't have to physically go and withdraw money, expose yourself in that process, then take it over. And then when the person who's collecting the money for the club takes the bulk cash to the bank to go and deposit it, they're also at risk and they can get robbed. So, you know, really, there's so many different ways to be able to do this. And even when you're paying out at this time of the year, there's no need for the person who's in charge to go and withdraw that money, put their lives at risk, put the money at risk, because criminals know that this is happening at this time of the year.
And you will be targeted.
Definitely, and they watch. They have spotters all over the place.
Because there's also a cultural attachment to that, and people want to see the cash in hand, and that is something that we're going to have to work through and work around as well.
Certainly a mind shift, and I think, you know, with people, if they know how there's such huge risk with carrying that cash, and the probability of it getting stolen, you know, is so high that you really need to know that you should do it alternatively. And if people don't have access to internet banking to do transfers, they can go to an ATM. You can do a transfer from one account to another at an ATM, you know, and just go into your bank branch, ask for assistance in terms of how you can do this. And the bank staff are very willing and able to actually provide that assistance.
And do it in a safe environment. And we know that there are bank accounts with minimal, if next to nothing, when it comes to fees as well. Is this limited just to Stokvels, or are there other kind of high-risk areas around this time of the year?
No, definitely not just to Stokvels, because, you know, people are getting bonuses, and we hope lots of people get bonuses. So certainly, you know, people that get bonuses also, or any access to bigger amounts of money, there's no need for you to carry cash. You can make a payment over the counter. You can, when you're buying, you use your card. You EFT. You can do online banking. Of course, there's things that you need to be mindful around that as well. But it's far. You minimize the risk if you actually do that, as opposed to carrying that cash.
And go and speak to your bank and get advice on how to do these transactions if you need that. The most important thing is don't carry large sums of cash with you, because chances are you are going to paint a target on your back.
And also don't tell too many people about what your habits are, because that's also an important thing to remember.
You just never know where that information's going to go. Kalyani, thank you so much. This is always such an eye-opener for me. I know you're working tirelessly to protect as many people out there. Go now and protect your hard-earned money at this time of the year. Make sure that you are not falling victim to the scam, because they are out there and they are desperately trying to get a hold of your information and your hard-earned cash. You've spent the whole year saving for the festive celebration. Don't let the scam get their hands on your money. For more tips, some incredibly important information on bank safety this festive season, visit the SABRIC website and their Facebook and Twitter pages. So Kalyani, have a fantastic festive season yourself. Stay safe. And hopefully we will have gotten so much of this information across that next year we'll start on a completely different note.
Thank you very much, Graham, and all the best to you and everybody at Expresso, and certainly to the bank customers as well. SABRIC wishes everybody a great festive season.
Stay safe.
Wise up, watch out.